two loving parents. My father died when I was 7. So my mom was basically, the new breadwinner of the household. She was a nurse. But I had grandparents, aunts, uncles, a whole lot of cousins who I was always close to. So I always felt loved in my family and everything like that. But I always felt like there was also a big responsibility on me to, I guess you kind of say, like, become great and just have something to prove.
Kind of had a relationship with my mom, had a relationship with my dad, but I feel as though I was more drawn to my relationship with mom. Like, I can go to my mom for anything. My dad, we're cool. We're always going to be cool, and I always love him, but if I ever had anything or need anything, I'll probably go towards my mom a little bit more.
Since my father passed away, I kind of didn't have as much of that in my immediate household, just because it was just me and my mom, but because I had my grandfathers, my aunts, my uncles, and everything like that, so I always had like a guy figure around. So, they kind of showed me a lot of stuff, One of my dad's best friends, I was probably like 8 or 9, and he came over the house and showed me how to tie a tie. And so, being that he was like one of my dad's, best friends, so he kind of almost made me like his son too, So I've always had a father figure or some type of man around. I know a lot of people who just don't have that figure sometimes. So I'm thankful for that.
I learned about masculinity through public school. So I told you a little bit earlier about my relationship with my dad. One of the things that I've seen and as I've grown kind of started thinking about is that we never had that relationship to where we would talk about what it's like to be a man. Everything I've learned, I can see from him. I can see how he acts. I can see what he would do. And yes, that's helpful. But those conversations, I never felt comfortable enough to initiate. Because that's always like, this is my dad. I had to just be a man. I had to make him proud. So anything I had to learn, anything I had to question, if I couldn't go to my mom, I had to learn about it through other means, through friends, or just through seeing the world through my own eyes. So my first idea of being a man is what I hear through rap, what I would see through my friends. Hey, man, you're not a real man until you get this girl. You're not a real man until you do this, that, and that, and the third. And then as I've grown, it's kind of like I'm starting to question that, like, wow, it's still very much a part of me because it's my upbringing, but at the same time, how is getting girls or being the big shot or whatever really defining who I am as a man? So I've had to kind of go against the grain right now, trying to figure out who I really am and who I really want to be.
For masculinity, I was told, it's okay to cry, even though I'm not a big crier myself. I hold a lot of stuff in. I'm more like my grandfather, where he's not like an affectionate person, but he loves you more by, just doing stuff with you and giving you things. And I'm more like that now. I look back at it because I'm not a big affectionate person. I won't sometimes tell you I love you or nothing like that, but if you need something, I got you type person.
The biggest assumption is just black men aren't shit. And like, you see that in posts on social media. You see that through like regular what's the word I'm looking for? Say, for instance, if you see a Pampers commercial for if there's a white family, you will see the mom, the dad, and the child in the picture. While if you see anything dealing with a black family, it's just the mom. And it just further pushes the stereotype that black men just aren't a part of the family because black men just really aren't doing anything. So, that's the current stereotype that I see that's very much being pushed.
I think with social media and just how everything's put out there now, a lot of men haven't stepped up in certain people's families and stuff like that, so they don't have that role model aspect. So a lot of stuff is kind of learn as you go, and people kind of get a little bit more selfish, I feel like, now. For guys, leaving some kids behind. Not all people, but when you do that, like you leave a child behind, like that person doesn't have that closeness to something or someone that they really, really want. So it kind of gives them that emotional detachment from certain people. And
in certain ways, I see black men starting to become a little bit more open. I see that the conversations are being had, which is always a plus. I don't know how far they're going as of yet. But they're being had, so it's good. I think that the image of black men is very much brought is very much made by people who just aren't black men. Like I look at that's going back to the post. I look at women saying a real man would do this or a real nigga would do this, that, and that, and the third. But I start to question that, saying you're not a real man. How can you kind of tell me what it is? You don't know. You don't know what men go through. So I think that conversations are starting to be had, but on the same token, there's still a lot of work left to be done. Black men really need to. I see groups coming up that are really kind of cementing what the role of a black man should be, or having those discussions saying, hey, look, we're not this, we're not that, but this is who we could be, or this is who we are. So I think it's slow progress, but it's progress.
Oh, we love the halls of Firenew, where we live and learn to play. No, we will not forget her, though we're far, far away.